Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you people are doing fantastic, isn't it? Learning and studying at home. So be safe and be happy. Welcome to homeschool. And today we are starting with the chapter Atoms and Molecules. And before we go to the chapter, let us introduce myself. I am Nalini ma'am and I am going to take up chemistry for classes 9, 10, 11, 12 as well. Along with the chemistry, I will take up biology also for class 10th. Okay. And coming to the chapter atoms and molecules. Listen carefully. This is the very basic fundamental chapters that everybody must understand to learn about the complicated concepts of chemistry that you will study further, maybe in class 10, 11 and 12 as well. Okay, so very much fundamental chapter. I can say very important chapter for whole of your life in case if you are taking up science in future for your further studies. Okay, let us go back to the chapter. And before this chapter, you have studied 2 chapters about matter, isn't it? So let us have a small recap, slight introduction about a matter. Because if you can understand matter clearly, you can able to connect the concepts with this particular chapter. Okay? So can you able to recall the definition of matter here? So what do you mean by a matter, guys? Matter is anything that has certain mass, that means weight, and it will occupy some space in this universe. So such a substance is called as matter, isn't it? So let us talk about the real life examples. Is chalk piece a matter? Definitely. Table a matter? Board a matter? Yes. So the living or non-living things that we can see and we can touch, everything is a matter. Say, we ourselves is an example for matter. I am a matter, you are a matter, your mother, father, everybody are a matters only, isn't it? So why we call ourselves as a matter? Yes, we have certain weight and definitely we will occupy some space of this universe. See, I am standing here in the sense, say this is the space that I occupied or I used in this whole universe. Isn't it? So I can call myself as a matter. So in a similar way, everything is a matter. The things that you see are matter. Isn't it? So in the previous chapters, you have studied or learned everything about a matter, isn't it? You studied about the nature of matter. You studied about the properties of matter. You studied about how different matters can be mixed up to make mixtures, solutions, their nature, their properties, whatnot. Everything you studied about matters. Okay, only the general things you studied. That's it. Clear, everyone? And now, coming to the concept of atoms and molecules, let me ask you a question. What is matter made up of? You all have studied various aspects about a matter, isn't it? Can you be able to answer to this question? Matter is made up of which particles? I mean, what is all present in the matter? Can you be able to give the answer? Yes? Remember, guys, whatever may be the matter, it is a living thing or a non-living thing. Okay? So each and every type of matter is made up of so-called substances, molecules, or we can also call it as compound. Okay, Don't worry about the definition of molecule and compound. You will study in the same chapter, okay, later. Just try to analyze the sequence. I am just telling you what does a matter contain. Okay, how is a matter made up of? This is what I am going to tell you now. Fine. So what is a matter contain? Molecules or compounds, various compounds. Okay, and each molecule again made up of atoms. Okay, each molecule is again made up of, or I can say each molecule is again divided into small particles called atoms. Okay, so what are atoms, guys? Atoms are small particles. Atoms are small particles, okay, which cannot be divided further. Okay, what I say, these atoms are which are indivisible. Okay, indivisible. That means you can't divide them further. See, matter is divided into molecules. It can break up into molecules, and each molecule can again break up into atoms. Okay, and this is the final particle. This is the last smallest particle of matter. Okay, and these particles you cannot break further. That is what we call indivisible. So what is the meaning of the word indivisible? Cannot break further. Okay, cannot break further. This is the meaning of the word indivisible. Got to know what is a matter made up of now? Say for example, this is a chalk piece. This is a chalk piece. Okay, I will connect it to an example now. I will connect the same sequence with the example. Say the example for matter, I am taking here this chalk piece. Okay, so here chalk piece is the example for matter. And this, what I told you, matter is again made up of a molecules or compound, I said. Okay, that means matter can again be divided into molecules or compounds. So, what is the molecule or compound that is present in this chalk piece? That is calcium carbonate. Okay, you will have a compound or molecule called calcium carbonate. Okay, and again this calcium carbonate, it is the combination of different atoms, guys. Calcium is one atom, carbon is one atom, oxygen is another atom. Got to know? Carbon is one type of element, calcium is another type of element, oxygen is another type of an element. I'll tell you what do you mean by this element also. Okay, just try to correlate with the example. So, chalk piece is a matter which is made up of molecules called calcium carbonate. And this calcium carbonate is again divided. It can be broken or it is made up of with the atoms called, okay, what atoms are there? Calcium atom is there, carbon atom is there, oxygen atom is there. See, this is a matter which is divided further or it is made up of with the molecule called CaCO3, calcium carbonate. Again, this guy can be broken up into, okay, atoms. Which are the atoms? Calcium atom, carbon atom and oxygen atom. Yes or no? So, atoms, if you want to break each and every atom, it is not possible. This is the smallest particle, guys. Okay, if you want to break up this calcium atom, not possible. If you want to break up this carbon atom, impossible. Clear, everybody? So, these guys are atoms. So, what I can say is, each and every matter contain a smallest particles called atoms, isn't it? Do you agree with this definition? Each and every matter, living matter or non-living matter, small matter or big matter, whatever, okay, it is made up of smallest particles called atoms. Okay, so many atoms, same type of atom or different types of atoms will join together first. After joining, you will get so-called molecules or compound. When so many molecules or compounds, when they join together, you will get a substance called matter. Got to know how is this matter made up of? Okay, so in this chapter, we are going to study more details about the atoms and molecules. Okay, clear everybody? And actually, the concept that I explained now was put up long back by the Indian philosophers. See, usually our Indian philosophers told many things about science long back, but they were not recognized in the world. That is the reason recently in the 17th, 18th century, whatever Western scientists gave the theories, those theories only we will accept and we will follow that in the field of science. But actually those theories and the concepts were given long back by our Indian philosophers itself. Okay, but they didn't become famous. That's what the problem. Okay, so actually whatever I told now, like I just told you, each and every matter is made up of small particles called atoms, I said. Okay, so this was the concept told by the Indian philosopher called Kanada. Okay, who is that? Maharishi Kanada. So here we will have a scientist, Indian philosopher by the name Maharishi Kanada. Okay, or in English we just say Kanad, Maharishi Kanad. Okay, when did he say this? He said it long back, 500 BC, before Christ. Okay, what he told? He told that matter, see, Maharishi Kanada's statement I am giving you now. Clear everybody? So what he said was matter, which they called it as Padarth. It's an Indian name for matter. Okay, Padarth, or in Kannada if you want to say Padartha. Okay, so just in English we say Padarth. Okay, they called matter as Padarth. Padarth means any substance that is present in the world or universe. Okay, so this Padarth is made up of, that means this matter is made up of small particles called paramanu. Okay, so what is that paramanu? Paramanu is nothing but atom. Okay, so this was the statement given by Maharishi Kanad. Okay, long back, when? 500 BC itself. So what did he say? He said that Padarth, the so-called Padarth, every Padarth which is present in the universe is made up of very, very, very small particles called Paramanu. So what is the English word for Paramanu? It is atom. Okay, and later one more philosopher called Katyayana. Okay, what is his name? Katyayana. He said that the different atoms combine to form different types of matter. Okay, say chalk piece is made up of one type of atom, human body is made up of another type of atoms, board is made up of one type of atom. Okay, so every matter, each and every matter is made up of different types of atoms. Okay, so that means the atoms, they react and they will form different types of matter. This is the in-depth meaning of this sentence. Okay, so according to this sentence, what we can decide? Atoms, different atoms, they react, they combine in the sense what? They will react. Some magic will happen between the atoms. Okay, so that it leads to the formation of different types of matters. Okay, so this was the statement given by again our Indian philosopher called Katyayana. Okay, and later in the 19th century, guys, see, these statements were given during 500 BC, before Christ, long back. Okay, but 19th century, it's a very, ours is a 20th century. Okay, so 19th century is not very long back, isn't it, compared to 500 BC? So in 19th century, there came a scientist called Democritus. Okay, Democritus. He is a Greek philosopher. Who is a Democritus? Greek philosopher, guys. Okay, what he said was the same statement. Okay, what did he tell? He said that the matter, I'll write the statement here. Matter is made up of small indivisible particles called atoms. Okay, so this was the statement given by Democritus. See, is the statement different from our Indian philosopher's statement? No, right? Okay, they said about atoms and matter long back during 500 BC. But in the 19th century, the Greek philosopher Democritus said the same thing. But what did he tell us? The atoms are indivisible. Okay, what did they tell? The atoms are indivisible. That means it is the smallest particle of matter, and this smallest particle cannot be divided further. Okay, so from this statement onwards, various scientists started studying about atoms, and they started learning about how atoms combine to make molecules, and later how molecules combine to make matter. Got to know? Okay, from there onwards, you know, the chemistry, the field of science called chemistry started flourishing. Clear, everybody? So this was the small history behind the origin of atoms. Okay, and now we will talk about very basic theory of chemistry, which is called Dalton's atomic theory. So this Dalton's atomic theory will give you certain points which are nothing but postulates about atoms and chemical reaction. Okay, and now let us see the postulates or points of Dalton's atomic theory. Clear, everybody? Fine. And remember, whatever I write on a board should be there in your book. Okay, video class in the sense it is not the class, just you have to listen, then close it and work it out with some questions. No. Okay, say you have to pause the video, okay, or you should take a screenshot. Neatly you should write running notes. What do you mean by running notes, guys? Running notes is nothing but a teaching notes. Whenever a teacher teaches, no, whichever points you understand, you have to write it in your own way. That is what we call reference notes. So maintaining reference notes is very, very important. In case if you want to revise a chapter, if you can just see or study the reference notes, it is more than enough. Okay, so maintaining the reference notes is very, very, very important. Clear, everybody? So not just listening, every point which is there on a board, everything that I tell, you have to note it down in your book, in your own words, the way you understood. Okay, clear, everybody? So science is a subject which is all about facts and concepts. If you memorize, these concepts will not come to you. If you can understand, analyze, and when you learn it in a deeper way, these concepts will enter into your head. Only then you will get that scientific temper. Okay, what do you mean by scientific temper? Interest on science. When you have interest on science, automatically it leads to study in a deeper way. When you study something in a deeper way, you will try to understand everything that is there in a book. Everything what different scientists have told. Clear, everybody? So this is the way you have to study the science. It is not just mugging up. Teacher gives you some question, answer, you mug up. That's not the way of studying. Try to understand everything that we tell in a class. And later, at the same time, your hand also should be working. How it should work? Writing. Make a best reference notes so that it gives a lot of benefit, okay, during revision. Guys, coming to the Dalton's atomic theory, many scientists have told many things about atoms, molecules, and chemical reaction. Okay, but nobody have put their concept in the form of theory. Okay, but this Dalton, after studying many aspects, he has given some postulates to the world. Postulates in the sense what? Certain facts. What do you mean by postulates? What do you mean by postulates, guys? Facts. Okay, facts, real facts. Okay, so those basic real facts about the atoms, he has put it in the form of 5 points, and he called these postulates together as atomic theory. Okay, so we call all the 5 points or postulates as Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, so this is the first theory that we will come across in chemistry. Very, very, very first and basic theory of chemistry is Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, so let us see the postulates one by one and their meaning and importance. Clear? Look at the first postulates. Start reading the postulates. All matter is made up of small particles called atoms. This already I explained you by taking chalk piece as an example, isn't it? So each and every matter, living or non-living, everything is made up of atoms only. Okay, coming to the second point, atoms are indivisible. What do you mean by the word indivisible, guys? Cannot break further. Okay, so whatever atoms are there in different types of matter, each atom if you take, you cannot break it further. Okay, and cannot be created or destroyed during a chemical reaction. Okay, a chemical reaction is all about combination of atom, guys. Okay, imagine this is one atom, this is another atom. Okay, when these atoms come closer and closer, closer and closer, you know what happens? Attraction is created between this atom and this atom. So you get a molecule. Okay, so formation of such attraction between the atoms is called chemical reaction. Is called chemical reaction. Okay, so when two atoms combine, when there is an attraction created between them, such a process we will call it as chemical reaction. Okay, and what this guy is telling is, during a chemical reaction, the atoms whichever are coming near for the combining purpose, those atoms you cannot create and you cannot destroy. That means, say if one atom is combining, say this is one hydrogen atom, this is one oxygen atom, one atom of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen combining. Okay, say one atom of hydrogen remains as it is in a molecule. It will not be destroyed during combination, and the extra atom also you cannot create. One atom will not become two hydrogen atoms. One atom remains one atom only. And one atom will not become half an atom during combination. Clear everybody? Understood the point? One atom of hydrogen is coming for combining, guys. One atom will not become half during combination. One atom will not become two during combination. One atom, how much ever it is coming, that much will remain. Okay, so this is what the meaning of the word atoms cannot be created. Extra atoms cannot be created, or existing atoms cannot be destroyed when during a chemical reaction. Okay, so this is the second and important postulate of Dalton's atomic theory. Coming to the third postulates, all atoms of same element are similar in their mass and properties. What do you mean by this point, guys? Okay, I said atoms will combine. Do the atom exist individually in our nature? Okay, I said no, chalk piece is nothing but calcium carbonate. So many calcium carbonates will join, you get a chalk piece. Each molecule has one calcium atom, one carbon atom, and 3 oxygen atoms. Okay, so how are these atoms present in our nature, guys? Okay, when these 3 combine, you get a molecule. That's a different thing. But how are these guys present in our nature? Is calcium present as a single atom? No. Is carbon present as a single atom? No. Atom is so small that you cannot see with your naked eyes. It does not have individual existence. Okay, it cannot present single. Atoms are present in the form of elements, guys. Atoms in our nature, they are present in the form of element. Okay, element in the sense pure substance, which is naturally present in our nature, okay, clear everybody? So element, say for example carbon, carbon is not present as a single atom. Crores, this is one carbon atom, this is another one. Crores of carbon atoms will stay together and forms an element. Elements are naturally present in our nature. Okay, say I said calcium atom. Single calcium atom doesn't exist in our nature. Crores and crores of calcium atoms. You cannot imagine the number, guys. Infinite number of calcium atoms will form a group. It will stay together, and that particular guy where you have same type of atoms, this is the element we call calcium. So the moment I say calcium element, imagine calcium element is available in the form of big rocks under earth crust. Okay, if you take a single piece of calcium element, that single piece itself will contain crores and crores of calcium atoms. Okay, got to know? Clear everybody? And elements. So every different types of atoms are present in the form of element. Okay, so group of atoms is called elements. Group of same type of atoms is called elements. Say you have one piece of calcium, you will have calcium atoms only. You will not have carbon atoms in them. You will not have oxygen atoms in them. One small piece of calcium element when you take from earth, no? Okay, that one small piece will have all calcium atoms only in crores together. Okay, so atoms will never present as a single guy, guys. It is always present in a combined form. So many atoms of the same type will form a group and it will stay in a certain form, and that is what we will call it as element. Okay, do you know in our nature we have around 118 elements, guys. Okay, and all these 118 elements have been beautifully arranged in the form of a table called periodic table. Okay, clear everybody? Hydrogen is one element, oxygen is another element. Say in element hydrogen, you will have crores and crores of hydrogen atoms only. In the element called oxygen, you will have crore. If you take some amount of oxygen gas, pure oxygen gas, you know, in that oxygen gas, you will find crores and crores of oxygen atoms only. Clear everybody? So like this, all the 118 elements are beautifully arranged in the form of a table called periodic table. So about the periodic table, you will learn next year. And some basic things I will be telling in this chapter also, but not now, little later. Okay, so if you want a periodic table, you just can observe the picture there. Say here you have a picture on periodic table where all 118 elements are nicely arranged. See the first element, that is H is written, no, that is hydrogen. Okay, below hydrogen Li is written, no, lithium. See, they are placed with their symbols. Got to know? So hydrogen element means hydrogen atoms group. Okay, so many crores of hydrogen atoms will form as element. Clear everybody? Atom do not have a single existence. Okay, atoms are always present in a group, and that group of atoms, pure atoms, we call it as element. Okay, so now you read the point. All atoms of same element, say this is a calcium element, piece of calcium. All atoms of the calcium element are similar in their mass in the sense weight. Each atom will have some mass, weight. Okay, so all atoms have same mass and all atoms have same properties. That means they react in a similar way. Okay, this piece itself is made up of calcium piece, it is calcium element, is made up of crores and crores of calcium atoms. No, each atom, each and every atom behaves in a same way. Okay, so that is what the meaning. And coming to the next point, fourth point, atoms of different element are different in their mass and properties. Okay, so imagine this is a calcium piece and here I have a sodium piece. Na is the symbol for sodium element. Okay, so in sodium piece you have crores and crores of sodium atoms. Okay, see, the nature of calcium atom is different, nature of sodium atom is different. Clear everybody? So that is what the meaning of fourth point. See, atoms of different element are different in their weight as well as properties. Okay. Last point. Atoms combine in certain whole number ratio to form a molecule. Okay. Say, what do you mean by this whole number ratio? will be understood in the next class. Just try to analyze that whenever atoms combine, what you will get, guys? You will get molecules. See here, whenever one calcium atom and carbon atom and 3 oxygen atoms combine, no, what you are getting? The so-called molecules. Okay, so that is what the meaning of the fifth point. And they won't combine in however the way they want. Okay, they will combine in a particular pattern. Okay, say for example, H2O is there. Okay, always 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen atoms, when they combine, you will get H2O. Always. That means, what is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in this molecule? 2:1, no? 2:1 in the sense what, guys? 2 atoms of hydrogen always combine with 1 atom. Only then you will get a molecule called water. Okay, so if 1 hydrogen combines with 1 oxygen, do you call this guy as a water? No. Only when hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen combines with 1 atom of oxygen, only then you will call it as a water. That is what the meaning of this word, whole number ratio. Okay, so here I can say hydrogen and oxygen are combining in 2:1 ratio to make water. Okay, so atoms doesn't combine however they want. They combine in a particular ratio. Only then they will form molecule. Okay, so about this point, as I told you, we will discuss in the next video in detail. Okay, so with this, I complete the first session on atoms and molecules. As I already told you, take a screenshot or pause the video, write down all the points, and this is a very, very important theory. Okay, you will be studying more aspects about this theory in class 11 also. Very, very important. Okay, fine. We will meet in the next session. If you like our video, please like it, share it, and subscribe our channel for more updates. Thank you.